Welcome to episode 181 of the Deep End Pool Podcast. Today we got some great topics. Going to be talking about the 5 basics of pool care. I've been out in the field a lot lately, and some of you guys need to listen to this. If you get the 5 basics down, you're not going to have any problems. So let's learn some pool stuff.
What kills algae?
Hey friends, welcome back to the Deep End. We're talking about the 5 basics to get you through.
Yes, to make your life easier.
Thing when you own a pool.
Yes, and guys, you know, I keep saying this, and I want to we'll always say it. Your water changes from year to year, so you can have problems this year that you've never had before, and you're doing the exact same thing. And again, it's about the water aging. And it's about your environment changing a little bit. Maybe you got new plants. Maybe the guy next door sprays liquid fertilizer all the time, and that keeps blowing into your pool, so you're running phosphates up.
You had more rain than normal.
Yeah. It's just changing, year after year after year. And like phosphates, phosphates is not an issue until it's an issue. If you're starting to have problems, maybe it's your phosphate levels have finally gotten high enough to where it's now causing you issues, and it just built up over time. So maybe removing phosphates is necessary for you.
Sure.
But even all that into consideration, all right, 99, probably 0.9 of all the problems can be prevented if you'll just do what's necessary to properly manage your pool. And that is the 5 basics. You need to be brushing, y'all, year round. Unless you got your pool covered, you need to be brushing on a weekly basis. Brush all the vertical surfaces, brush all your raised flat surfaces.
Brush it.
If you don't have a good cleaner, you need to brush the floor even. Yeah. But brushing is very, very necessary. It helps get things that are attached to the wall, get it pushed out into the pool. Hopefully it can get filtered out. Algae loves to attach itself to surfaces. Some algae is free floating and doesn't attach, but some algae like mustard algae, they love to attach to the wall surfaces in tile and grout lines and all that, and then they're protected, and it's much harder for the chlorine in your chemicals to get in and kill it, and it can start multiplying and start causing you problems. So brushing is very, very necessary. We've talked about removing debris. Algae is plant-like. And just like when you're composting in a garden, you put dead organic material in the garden, it starts breaking down and releasing nutrients for the live plants to eat. Well, same thing happens in your pool. If you're letting your cleaner, if you're not emptying the bag and it's just running around with a half-empty bag of leaves for, 3 weeks, those leaves are starting to break down and they're releasing nutrients into the water. Debris sitting in your skimmer for weeks, that's feeding algae in your pool. So leaves sitting on your steps or on your tanning ledge, anywhere that organic debris is breaking down in your water, it's releasing nutrients in the water that's going to make it more difficult for you to kill algae. And we've talked about it all the time. Our whole goal is to kill algae faster than it multiplies. Well, it works 2 ways. You can just make sure you always have enough chlorine to the 7.5% of your CYA in free chlorine in your water will kill algae faster than it multiplies as long as you have a good pH. But you can also slow how fast algae grows so that number becomes lower. If you're slowing how fast algae grows by eliminating how much food it can eat, because you're not either you're not providing food or you're putting like borates in the water to slow the algae multiplies slower when you have borates in the water. Using stuff like Blu-ray XL that slows algae growth. Well, you can even use less chlorine, but we got to maintain a constant residual in warm water where we're killing the algae faster than it multiplies. And part of that is don't give it a freaking buffet to eat in your pool. So removing debris from the pool is very critical. We've talked about circulation time and time again. Circulation is critical to maintaining a pool well. Without good circulation, your chemistry is different in different parts of the pool. You need all the water in the pool exchanging regularly and not have just the center part your jet's going back and forth across the pool. You don't want just the center part to be good and leave the corners dead, or have like up on your tanning ledge. If you're never moving any water up over your tanning ledge, and a bubbler does not help you much here, it just kind of comes up and rolls over. We need something to move water across the tanning ledge. What I love to do with people with bubblers on a tanning ledge is put a side slotted return up on that tanning ledge, have it blow back towards the wall, and then that keeps that tanning ledge, the water on that tanning ledge, exchanged frequently, so that the tanning ledge doesn't become a problem. In spa footwells, these many pools, that is just an algae farm. I know you guys like to have these fountains. If you have a center floor return in this hot tub, and they put these pipes in them, and they have the little spray head up top that's right above the spa. If you can live without that little fountain, you're going to be much better served by putting a side slotted return in the floor where that fountain screws in. Put a side slot return, thread it in there, have it stirring water in that footwell, and just doing this, and then that water's moving up and out and overflowing into the pool. That's going to help you tremendously. So the good circulation is critical. I don't care how good your water chemistry is in the middle of the pool if you have a bunch of dead spots where the chemistry's different.
Right.
Because that's where the algae will grow. The algae, it doesn't have to live in the middle of the pool. It just go where it can live. So it finds its little corners, it gets attached, it starts multiplying, double, and it's constantly releasing spores out into the pool, which is wearing out your chlorine. Your chlorine's wasting itself trying to oxidize all these spores coming and getting mixed in. So it's taking more chlorine, and now you can't keep chlorine in the water, and you're getting algae, and now you're fighting problems, and you're just getting frustrated, and I'll never own another pool. Well, I don't want you there. I want you to enjoy your pool. So that's something very 100%. Simple, guys. Very, very simple. Good circulation really solves a lot of problems. All right, the next thing is good filtration. You got to have a filter that's working well, and you got to be moving enough water through that filter. Just turning here in North Texas, I know parts of the country you can get away with just one turnover, and that's the volume of water in your pool passing through your filter once. And some people try to just get one turnover a day, and in parts of the country that may work, but here in North Texas it don't work. Yeah. If you got anything that's making your management a little more difficult, fewer turnovers is really going to cause you a lot of problems. Here in North Texas, I say 2 to 3 turnovers minimum. The volume of water in that pool, through that pump, through that filter, 2 to 3 times a day. And that will help you manage, because your filter's removing stuff out of the water, organics, other things that cause you problems. So if we get it filtered out, it's not a problem anymore.
And make sure you get your filters clean.
Yes, clean your filter regularly.
That's one of the things I always hear when people call you about this, or the first thing. When was the last time you had your filter cleaned?
Yes.
I'm supposed to clean my 2 years ago. I don't know,
And seriously, so we have people that haven't had a filter clean in 2 years, they're wondering why they're having problems. Yeah. Well, when that filter starts getting real dirty, it slows flow in the pool, so it's lowering your turnovers, and it's not doing its job anymore, and then you can start damaging the internals of the filter. And once you damage those, now the filtration's even worse. So maintaining a filter well is worth the time, worth the effort, worth the money. Right. So just make sure you're doing that. Sure. And then the last thing is good water chemistry. And you can overcome, if you're not doing some of these other things, if you're not brushing well, if you have not the greatest circulation, if you're leaving some debris in the pool, you can overcome that with more chemicals and more chlorine, better sanitizers, more sanitizers. You can overcome a lot of that. But if you'll just do those 4 things, the first 4 things, the brushing, the removal of debris, the good circulation, the good filtration, chemistry becomes much, much simpler. Right. Because you're not putting it behind the 8 ball. It doesn't have to overcome. It can just maintain.
That's great.
All right, so and there's 2 parts of water chemistry. There's sanitizer and there's water balance. The sanitizer, super simple, y'all. It's maintaining enough chlorine to kill algae faster than it multiplies. Whether you're slowing the growth of the algae or whatever, it doesn't matter. You still got to have enough sanitizer to kill it faster than it multiplies. And the average pool, it's 7.5% of your CYA with a decent pH is going to kill algae faster than it can multiply. All right, with borates, it's 5% of your CYA. With borates and Blu-ray XL, man, we're trying 3.5% of the CYA, and it's working. So we can use a lot less chlorine, and that gives us less stabilizer issues because we're not adding as many tabs in our tab pools. Yeah. So our stabilizer's not climbing as much, and it's making our lives much, much better. So sanitizer part, simple. I can't make it any simpler than that. You test, you dose as needed to kill the algae faster than it multiplies. And then it's water balance. The water balance takes a lot of things into account. It's pH, alkalinity, calcium hardness, and total dissolved solids, salt level. If you have salt, if you're a salt pool, take CYA into account, and water temperature. I get very frustrated with pool stores that test water and don't do an LSI, the Langmuir Saturation Index, where you can see if your water's balanced. And it changes. Your water temperature changes LSI. And you have to manage that LSI. I recommend the Orenda app, O-R-E-N-D-A.
Yeah.
It's a great app. You can put in all your readings and it will tell you what your LSI is. And if you need to adjust your LSI, you can move a couple things. Typically, it's just pH and alkalinity. And because you're not going to change your water temperature, you're not going to change your calcium, you're not going to change your CYA, you're not going to change your total dissolved solids. So we manage the LSI with our pH and our alkalinity, so we can adjust that over in the other column until it shows us that the LSI would be good there. You hit dosage, and it tells you what to add to balance the water to the changes you've made. And that's very simple. Keeping a good LSI is critical to extending the life of your plaster, your pool equipment, and it has nothing to do with algae. This is only about protecting your investment. Now, the sanitizer is about making it swimmable and safe. So we can't make that any simpler on the sanitizer. And LSI is not that complicated, y'all, especially with these apps that we have now. And there's several apps out there. I just love Orenda, but great app. I mean, kudos to you guys. Fantastic job. And you'll see what you can play with the numbers on this app, move things up and down, and you can see the huge effect it has on your LSI, or the little effect it has on your LSI.
Maybe it's not changing at all.
Yeah. You can dial things up, and you play with the water temperature. See how much that can change your LSI. You can't keep the same if you're in an environment where you have extreme highs and extreme lows in temperature in your water temperature. Then you can't run the same numbers year round and necessarily keep your LSI good. Because when that water temperature gets really cold, the water gets more aggressive. You need to run higher alkalinities, higher pHs. Some parts of the country that have a lot of vinyl and fiberglass pools, they add a lot of calcium. We add calcium to pools when they're first built and where the water's fresh. After that, we rarely add calcium. We just monitor it as it slowly climbs on its own. Some parts of the country, they don't have calcium in their water, and they have vinyl liners and stuff like that. So they sometimes need to add calcium to help keep the water balanced. But anyway, guys, the 5 basics, just stay on top of it, learn water chemistry, get this Orenda app, play with it, and you'll start seeing how things affect your water and put you at risk at either damaging your surfaces or staining your surfaces. And then sanitizers, just keeping the pool safe, keeping algae at bay. And then if you do get stains, see you later is going to be your best friend. Preventing stains is much easier now with see you later than it used to be, and preventing is much easier than
trying to get rid of them.
Stains. Preventing is one step, guys. See you later, stain eliminator. Removing is a 3-4 step process. So just to prevent it, watch your metals. You have your store, Take water into somewhere where they test everything, watch your metals, monitor them, and when needed, put see you later in there, drop those metals out, and then you're going to be good for a while. So thank y'all for watching. Thank you for listening. Next week, I have no idea what we're going to talk about next week. I never know what we're going to talk about.
I was about to say, thought you were going to preview. I was so proud.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what this show was going to be on until 30 minutes before we did the show.
It's all good.
All right, so guys, thank you again, and we'll see y'all next week.
Have a great week.
To know what works.